This is a absolutely crazy, doing your research and looking into these things for yourself. Very standards, and you can talks about the love of many would wax cold in the end times, and people are just so full of hate, so full of envy, jealousy, bitterness. People, the Bible even talks about people, easily being offended. They run around looking for something to be offended about. So all of that can be true, but like I always tell you, with every situation and major, world topic, as believers, we got to go case by case. I'm never going to defend anybody blindly, no bag of flesh blindly. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, black, white, Jewish, Palestinian, it doesn't matter, right? My loyalty is to God and the truth. So she did a commercial. All right. This lady, I think I'm saying her name right. Sydney Sweeney, right? Oh, wait, let me show you this real quick. I think this is so interesting. You remember this? Kevin Durant, the basketball player, Scarlett Johansson, I want to drink your bath water, right? Now, do you guys know that this is demonic? This is like a full-blown rituals that people are doing. And I think maybe a lot of people don't know that. You think, oh, it's just, a joke. Let me show you something real quick before let's just go into the videos, but you could look it up for yourself. Drinking bath water ritual. All right. It's in Nigeria, there's some stuff with that. Even in Japan, there's some cultic practices. They drink the water. In Nigeria, I know that they drink the water. The widow will drink the water used to clean her deceased husband. All right, I'll pull that up at the end of the video, but let's get into these clips here. All right, so boom, pull it up. We're gonna play the commercials. We're gonna play all that, but I wanted to start here with this little. I didn't know who this woman was, and then it's just viral all over the place. I keep seeing it, and I don't talk about something unless I feel led to talk about it. And then I started seeing some of the conversations that were happening. You guys know I've had a lot of political conversations, right? And it seems like conservatives are just celebrating this. They're praising this no matter what. But I will put a pause on that. Let's play it.
Hello, you dirty little boys. Are you interested in my body? Wash? Well, you can't have it. Because this isn't for boys. It's for men.
What's wrong, guys? The sound is off. Hold on, let me double check. I can redo it if it's that bad. I can start the whole video all over again. Is it still going in and out? Or can you guys hear me clearly? Give me the thumbs up if you guys can hear me clearly, and then we'll go forward. I had to plug everything in because we're good. All right. Boom, got the volume up. Boom. We were in here recording music the other day, so we unplugged everything, and now we're plugging back in. All right, so okay, everybody's saying we're good. Let's get it. All right, I'm gonna just show you something, and this should be interesting. All right. So obviously, the commercial is not anything that I'm going to praise, the sexual tones and all of that kind of stuff. But I wanted to show you this because that is some kind of hoodoo, voodoo, Nigerian, even Japanese demonic ritual. They believe there's some spiritual stuff to like drinking people's bathwater.
Hello, you dirty little boys. Are you interested in my body? Wash? Well, you can't have it. Because this isn't for boys. It's for men. So go to drsquatch.com today and quit being a dirty little boy.
So yeah, I thought that was maybe like something fake, but no, they apparently took her bath water, they put it in the soap, and people are buying it. And so that was one thing that's weird, but that is very witchy, okay?
Let's face it, guys only want one thing.
Wish I had something natural instead of this synthetic body wash. Sydney Sweeney, body wash genie?
Dr. Squatch Natural Body Wash for Men. They're tired of smelling thirsty.
Sydney Sweeney. Holy coconuts, it even smells natural.
And it's moisturizing. At the end of the day, they just want to crack open a natural one with the boys.
Sydney Sweeney, body wash genie.
Dr. Squatch Body Wash for men who prefer natural. Base composition.
Oh, here's the commercial, right, that everybody was talking about. Now, as you can see, so the bathwater thing, I just want to put that out there, guys. Like, I know people are just joking and stuff, but they're literally putting her bathwater and soap and selling it. That's witchy. That is weird. That's suspect. Whether she's just going along with it or not, ignorantly, no, that is not cool. Okay. And so you can kind of see where this is going, right? They're using sex pretty much to sell stuff. And so a lot of conservatives, this commercial that I'm about to show you has been in the conversation all over the internet. Because, for a while they were pushing the, trans underwear models, and you had you couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman, like a big, burly, hairy thing, Calvin Klein. And so, there are some conservatives who are celebrating this, bring the hot girls back, bring the hot models back. We don't want to be so woke, what I'm saying, that we're pushing men dress. I get all that. I agree, but not with the sexualization of it, obviously, as a Christian man. So let's play this and we'll keep going forward.
Is determined by my genes. Hey, eyes up here. Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has her genes.
The secret of life.
So a lot of the, liberal conversation is they're saying this is Hitler stuff. This is, white supremacy. They're saying this commercial is white supremacy because she said she has good genes. Now, obviously, listen, people are just offended by everything. Look, you can have good genes. Black, white, Latino, Asian people, I think that is problematic where we're just offended by anything. Yes, there are white people who are good looking. They have good genes. There's black people, there's Spanish. That it's just people want to be offended by anything. And then the problem is, I'm going to be, to all you people who vote Democrat and liberal, this is a perfect example of why you guys are losing, because people are sick of this kind of stuff, right? You're going to see the double standard when we play Beyonce. So Beyonce did a whole Levi jeans thing, her butt all in the camera, and people are praising it. This is amazing. But then when a white, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, does the same thing, sexualizing jeans, all of a sudden, right, this is Hitler-like, this is white supremacy, because she says she has good genes. Look, people have good genes. Stop being so easily offended. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that this was a remake of an old, what's her name, Brooke Shields commercial.
Lies hidden in the genetic code. Genes are fundamental in determining the characteristics of an individual and passing on these characteristics to succeeding generations. Occasionally, certain conditions produce a structural change in the gene, which will bring about the process of evolution. This may occur in one or more of the following ways. Firstly, by selective mating, in which a single gene type proves superior in transmitting its genes to future generations. Secondly, by gene drift, in which certain genes may...
She sounds like she's so out of breath. This is absolutely ridiculous, but let's
fade away while other genes persist. And finally, by natural selection, which filters out those genes better equipped than others to endure in the environment.
It really makes you wonder, what kind of perv directed this commercial? Look at all the little leg movements, and they probably were coaching her, we want you to talk like this and, do your little sensual whisper voice. There's a bunch of pervs in Hollywood and even with the commercials, some weirdo, put your foot up to your face and put your legs it's just so weird.
This may result in the origin of an entirely new species, which brings us to Calvin's and the survival of the fittest.
Calvin.
Genes are passed down from parents to...
I just wanted to show you this. So just like the Sydney girl is doing some weird, demonic bathwater ritual stuff, Beyonce, as we've been saying, is definitely a witch. And you Beyonce fans, how do you keep acting like you don't see this stuff? So she's singing the national anthem. You got the triangle, Illuminati triangle, the weird whatever lace outfit, like the red colors, straight demonic. I don't know how Christians be defending Beyonce. So here's Beyonce's commercial, right? Same thing, jeans. You see, overly sexual. So they're using sex just as well, right, to sell jeans. And one is praised, one, all right, is hated. So this is where you get the whole conservative versus liberal argument. But listen, Christians, just because, right, you might lean conservative doesn't mean you have to support this Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ad. It's sexual, it's not modest, right? Now we can support what? I'm all for bring back attractive models to model clothes without making it over sexual. I don't like that woke stuff where we got to worry about offending people. If you're worried about you're always people want to be offended. The Bible literally talks about this, right? That people will run around looking for offense, looking to be offended, looking to be a victim. Okay. But just because you're a conservative doesn't mean that you have to, oh man, I'm on Sydney Sweeney's side. No, her ad was just as bad. Period. All right. Let's keep going. I want to show you some of the conversation that is happening around this. We don't have to watch all the. Let's see. Let's skip forward. These are just some of the TikToks, but there's some more. Okay, here we go. So the devil doing exactly what he wants, dividing the people, right, with all of this stuff.
Hey, you want to go to American Eagle?
Oh, I can't go in there because I'm black.
You know what? She might be right. I don't think American Eagle accepts EBT. Oh, that's the one. That'll get me in trouble.
So you see right there why that was problematic, right? That's a conservative guy, I'm assuming, and he makes his little EBT joke, right? He's comfortable making the joke, but both are problematic. The one girl, she's offended by the commercial and she's making it like American Eagle's racist, right? So, they're against black people. She's offended. But then the other guy, with the jokes. So both sides, the enemy's doing exactly what he wants. Let's look at some more of the conversation.
As usual, cancel culture has their knickers in a knot over nonsense because they are desperate to find racism in every crevice of life. So apparently this ad is about Nazi propaganda. Apparently it's about racism, eugenics. They really look far into things in order to become a victim of some sort. It is not a racist ad. Beautiful women have been in advertisement forever. Okay. Beautiful black woman, beautiful Asian woman. Nothing wrong with a beautiful white woman saying that she's got good genes because, girl, if a black girl said that she's got good genes, ain't nobody could tell her nothing. It would not be considered racist if a black woman in a commercial said that she had great genes, whether it's GENES or JEANS. Black women have been saying it's important to be black and beautiful forever. Be black and proud, and somehow that's not considered racist. But a beautiful blonde hair, blue-eyed white woman is racist because she said.
Just for the one comment, I've never idolized a political party. You guys just were too ignorant to listen to what I was actually saying, and you heard what you wanted to hear. I've never idolized Trump. I've never idolized the Republicans. So maybe you should just do better at listening.
She has good genes, which clearly is a play on words. But guess what, guys? People do have good genes. Somebody get the brain, somebody get the look, somebody get the bod, the athleticism. We all get something. So let's
think that's common sense, but people are offended by common sense. That's what's so crazy.
not be jealous. Let's just work on the gifts we have and use them to the best of our abilities. Let me say this again. It's okay for white people to be beautiful, and it's okay for white people to have good genes and be aware of that.
The reason this ad has done so well is, yes, because it creates controversy and we all talk about it and we debate, and American Eagle is very smart and they knew that, but also because there is a growing segment of the population just like me that is saying that is so tired of walking on eggshells to cater to people like Mark's sensitivities. Frankly, I don't care if you're offended. You can put an ad out and offend this person over here or that person over there. Everyone is always going to get offended by something. Who cares? Here's the bottom line. Stop getting so offended.
And no one on the left, in the woke left, seems to understand that it's exactly this kind of thing that is the reason that nobody wants to vote for it.
I'm really starting to feel like this generation of young women is just full of self-centered haters. Obviously, it's not everybody, but all of this Sydney Sweeney hate and criticism is really leaving me perplexed. Being mad at somebody just because they're cute and have a cute body is not a legitimate reason to hate them and cancel them, and promote and encourage other people to hate and criticize them.
American Eagle is getting canceled for the racist ad with Sydney Sweeney.
Now listen to where this one goes.
Sydney Sweeney is a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman who did an ad for them. And in the ad, they said Sydney Sweeney had good genes. So everyone lost their mind.
The problem with that?
People are saying it supports white supremacist ideology. The ad actually said genes are passed down from parents to offspring, which determines your hair color, personality, and eye color. My genes are blue.
Oh,
and then,
oh yeah, that's bad.
I wasn't finished.
And
then it says Sydney Sweeney has
that is clearly a dog whistle for Nazis.
You think an ad about genes would target Nazis? Does that even make sense? There's clearly no innuendos, and they were only talking about
these
pants.
same eugenics we're discussing is the same eugenics Hitler said were the good.
Why does
genes.
everybody compare what Hitler did from back then to today? You act like this ideology could be harmful to other communities. Have you lost it?
I'm saying in no other timeline in the past 20 years would this commercial have been okay.
What?
But in today's climate, the fact that they still made it and put it out as professionals says a lot about American Eagle.
People are now threatening to boycott American Eagle, and that they'll shop at Levi's instead.
And that's fine. Any company that wants to take a position like that is getting exiled from American.
So you see, like, it's like super, it gets tricky, right? Because obviously, as a Christian man, we're not going to praise the Sydney Sweeney commercials. She's got the bathwater thing going on. That's some weirdo witchcraft stuff. It's over sexualized. Like, it's cool to just bring attractive models and let them model the clothes. And especially, right, if I don't know if you guys remember this stuff, right? This was just crazy to me. Like, they were forcing that stuff on us, right? Let me make this here. Remember this? Let's see. As a cis woman, Calvin's Klein ad of trans men in abroad doesn't confuse me. Right? Remember this? Like they were just getting crazy with it, like super woke. And then, you know, the confusion is you don't know what is what anymore. And that's exactly what the Bible warns about in the last days, right? A strong delusion. So I can understand why, you know, conservatives, after seeing this, it's like, man, you know, yeah, bring back the hot models and things like that. But you got to be careful, because on both sides, there's some real suspect stuff going on. This is why I tell people, look, you always got to do your research for yourself. And last, let me say this, right? The reason, even with the Beyonce stuff, we know that she's in a lot of witchcraft stuff, right? And there's a thing like familiar spirits. So when people are operating under familiar spirits, it's not, you can't just be like, oh, this person, it's only with their music. No, everything that they do, they are under the influence of these spirits. So when you see this girl sitting in the tub of water, you know, talking about, you know, they're selling her bath water, you got to do research. Matter of fact, let me share my screen with you guys so you could see it, for those of you who think, you know, it's just not a big deal. All right, so here, and we're done. After this, we're done. All right, check it out. Several instances exist where drinking bathwater has been linked to rituals, varying in their context and implications. Mourning rituals in Nigeria. In certain regions of Nigeria, a ritual exists where a widow is made to drink the water used to clean her deceased husband's corpse. The purpose of this ritual is to prove the widow's innocence and that she was not responsible for her husband's death. Refusal to participate can be interpreted as an admission of guilt. All right, cult practice in Japan. A Japanese cult was accused of selling the bathwater of their leader to followers as part of a ritual. Followers paid for the bathwater as well as blood and hair strands from the leader. All right. Ritual bath, religious or magic ceremony involving the use of water to immerse anointed subject's body. So yeah, man, it's a lot of that stuff, man, that you just think it's just innocent, and it's not, guys. So just be careful what you're defending. Be careful when it's like, oh, I'm a conservative, so I have to celebrate this. I have to. No, you don't. All right? You do not have to. A lot of people are supporting stuff ignorantly, and there are spiritual implications to that stuff. And any of the guys that bought that soap, that's some real weirdo stuff, man. If you went out there and bought that soap, that is some desperate, weirdo, strange stuff. So whatever. Love you guys. Be blessed. Be encouraged. Have a wonderful evening in Jesus' name. I hope you guys enjoyed that new single, Heavenly Whispers. www.marcusrogersministries.org. If you want to support what we're doing here in Chicago, we need all the help that we can get. I would love to get another camera to stream from the basement, but all of that stuff is in the description. All right. You guys have a blessed day.